I met Olivia at a friend's party 4 years ago. She was confident, ambitious, and had this infectious laugh. We clicked immediately, and things got serious quickly. My best friend, Nate, had been in my life since high school. We had been through everything together, practically brothers. When Olivia and I started dating, he was super supportive, always inviting us to hang out. In hindsight, maybe a little too supportive. About 6 months ago, things started changing. Olivia was always on her phone, smiling at texts but turning the screen away whenever I walked by. She and Nate suddenly had all these inside jokes. If I ever mentioned it, she'd roll her eyes and say, "God, don't be so insecure. We're just friends." On the night of my 28th birthday, I planned a small gathering at my apartment. I came home early to set up and heard voices from my bedroom. I recognized them instantly, Olivia and Nate. I stood outside my own bedroom door for what felt like forever before finally pushing it open. And there they were, in my bed, on my birthday. The worst part wasn't even catching them, it was what happened next. Nate just smirked, not even bothering to cover up. "Hey man, we were going to tell you eventually." Olivia actually laughed. "You should see your face right now." All I could manage to say was, "How long?" Nate high-fived Olivia. "About 3 months. But honestly, it would have happened sooner if I'd known." Then he looked at Olivia and smirked. "He never wondered why you always finished watching a show after he fell asleep?" They laughed. Together. In my bed. On my birthday. I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. I just nodded, turned around, and walked out. Behind me, Olivia called, "Wait! Aren't you going to say anything? Are you seriously just walking away?" I didn't answer. Instead, I drove to a hotel, turned off my phone, and started making plans. What they didn't know was that Nate's company had just signed a massive deal with a client. A client whose CEO happened to be my uncle's golf buddy. Nate had been bragging for weeks about landing the account. They also didn't know Olivia's phone backed up to our shared cloud. Every message, every photo, every working late lie. I had it all. I spent the night making calls and downloading evidence. By morning, I had 43 missed calls, 28 from Olivia, 15 from Nate. Instead of answering, I sent Nate one text, "Check your email." In that email were screenshots of every inappropriate message he had sent Olivia during work hours from his company account. I had CC'd his boss, the HR director, and the CEO of that big client. I went back to my apartment when they were at work, packed Olivia's things into boxes, left them by the door, changed my locks, Wi-Fi password, and Netflix priorities. Around 2 p.m., my phone blew up. Nate had been called into an emergency meeting with HR, his boss, and client representatives. The messages weren't just inappropriate. They showed him bragging about overcharging the client, cutting corners, and planning to milk them dry before moving to a competitor. That client pulled their $1.2 million contract on the spot. By 4 p.m., Nate was doing the cardboard box walk of shame out of the building. Olivia started spamming me. "What did you do? Nate just got fired because of you. This is insane. You can't ruin someone's career over a stupid mistake. Answer your phone." I didn't respond. Instead, I forwarded Olivia's screenshots, messages she had sent to her sister about trading up from me to Nate because he had actual career potential. I also attached Nate's messages to his buddy, where he admitted he was only with Olivia until something better came along. Calls stopped real quick after that. That night, Nate showed up drunk, pounding on my door and screaming about how I had ruined his life. My neighbor's Ring doorbell caught everything, him threatening to end me before passing out in the hallway. Cops showed up, and that video led to an instant restraining order. Pro tip: don't threaten someone's life on camera. The cherry on top? The birthday cake I forgot to cancel got delivered to my workplace. My coworkers, clueless about the drama, brought it out during our morning meeting. Instead of "Happy birthday to the best boyfriend ever," the message on the cake read, "I'm leaving you for Nate. Sorry." Turns out, Olivia had changed the message, planning to dump me at work on my birthday. Cake decorator had the receipts. My boss saw my face, ended the meeting, and gave me the week off after I explained everything. As I was leaving, Nate's former boss requested a LinkedIn meeting. They wanted to know if I had more information about client mismanagement. That night, Olivia showed up crying at my apartment, saying we could work through this. I just spoke through the Ring camera. Your stuff's by the door. You have 24 hours before it goes to Goodwill. She never came for it. Through 24 hours, I donated everything except personal documents and family photos, which I mailed to her parents. Her mom actually called to apologize, hinting that this wasn't Olivia's first rodeo with this kind of behavior. Nate went to Olivia expecting sympathy. She wouldn't let him in. According to friends, he accused her of ruining his life and not being worth the trouble. His revenge? Sending screenshots of their conversations to her law firm, which had a strict morality clause. The messages showed her discussing confidential client info, a massive ethics violation, and planning to fake sick days for their weekend trips. Olivia got suspended pending investigation. The hotel I escaped to had a front desk clerk, Mia, who was super kind. When she saw my shell-shocked face, she upgraded me to a suite and sent up hot chocolate. We chatted briefly at checkout. Yesterday, she messaged me on Instagram, recognizing me from a mutual friend's photos just to check if I was okay. We got coffee and talked for hours. Not romantic, just nice to make a friend with no connection to the drama. I found a new apartment closer to work with better security. Olivia and Nate's lives aren't my concern anymore. Most of our friends took my side, though I told them this wasn't about choosing sides. Actions have consequences. Felt good knowing people saw through their BS about me being obsessive and overreacting. 3 months later, Nate is facing serious legal consequences. What started as a workplace investigation turned into criminal charges for fraud, embezzlement, and corporate espionage. He had been selling company info to competitors for years. The FBI got involved. I took the job at his former company. Felt weird at first, but they've been amazing. Better pay, a supportive environment, and work I actually care about. My new boss even mentioned they've implemented stricter background checks because of what happened. Silver linings. Olivia sent me an 8-page handwritten apology letter last month. I appreciate the gesture, but some bridges stay burned. I got a text from Nate's mom, apologizing for her son and saying she'd always consider me a positive influence in his life. That conversation was harder than I expected after knowing his family for over a decade. Mia and I have been dating for about a month now. It's different from any relationship I've had, honest, straightforward, no games. We're taking things slow, building on an actual friendship. Yesterday would have been my anniversary with Olivia. Instead of dwelling on it, I took a personal day, went hiking, and watched the sunset from a mountain peak. And I realized something important. This painful experience was actually a gift in disguise. It forced me to rebuild my life on my own terms. Nate and Olivia did me a favor, though not the one they intended. They freed me from relationships built on sand. In their attempt to hurt me, they hurt themselves far worse. I've stopped tracking their desperate messages. My life is just getting started.